right, y'all. Let's talk about it. Uh, I want to say waking up with Renee. I guess we can keep that title. But I feel the anointing. I don't know why. I laughed in the spirit after the Caucasian lady, saying, "We don't know, or they don't know, or we don't know. This may be the last time. We don't know." Um, I laughed so hard, and I just felt like I didn't know what I was laughing at, but I focused on the fact that she hit the high note, and she was. I mean, it was just wild. But then I laughed so hard till I cried. And my spirit's like, that's a spiritual laugh. And that's what a lot of folks do when they're nervous and when they're afraid because they don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. This time has been prophesied that this would happen. And this is real. And this is serious. And we don't know. And if you're not one of those who have been personally touched, then you can't really feel the atmosphere. There are still people don't know that there is a war. There are people fighting. Some folks say it's a race fight. Who knows? But we do know that we possibly could have a terrorist up in office. And as someone told me today, that America owes a debt, and that's why they're trying to take the land. Whatever. We got people dying. And we got families separated. We got CPS going crazy. And in the past, police officers going crazy. Government going crazy. And what happened was the light came on. Have you ever gone in your kitchen and the lights was off and you was infested with roaches or rats? Yeah. Turn on the light, what do? They scatter. Even if it means they bump into one another. Things is chaotic because they're being exposed. And this is what I believe is going on today, an exposure. And so it's wild because the light has been turned on. Now, I know some of you may have, let me just say you didn't really worry about it in the past. It wasn't brought out. It was there, and we talked about it in bits and pieces on the news, and it was just one person. But when we saw that what looked or what appeared to have been one person was multitudes, this hasn't just occurred. We've had government killing by the thousands in the past. You just didn't put them all together. There was some that wasn't on the news. The news didn't expose it all. But now this is a big exposure. Oh my goodness, you don't hear me. This is not something new, y'all. You're relating it to something new, but you finally had something to combat it. In the past, you talked about it and you walked on. Sometimes you grouped. Come on, because I can tell you about some of these groups. You grouped on individuals to make it appear that society wasn't that bad. When not just that one was being hit, thousands were being hit. And no one considered them. No one tried to go after them. This is nothing new. This is the first time that it has been such a combat against it. That's why it's like this. It's a fight. They were allowed to do it in the past. But now it's just a fight. And that's why it's so crazy and chaotic because of the exposure. Now, why is it such an exposure? Come on, let's talk about it. Let's go a little deeper. I know some folks going to be hurt by waking up with Renee. And, of course, this is the news. Yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing during the war. I'm going to be on the news, and y'all maybe on Facebook. Maybe you'll be in another country listening to me, and I'm going to be on the news in America telling y'all what's going on. But let's talk about it. Why is it such chaos now? Why is it such an exposure now when we know that it's already been done before? It's nothing new. Does it have something to do with racism? Oh, I'm going to hurt some feelings right now. I know. And y'all know I ain't on nobody's side. I'm just here. Only one in the newsroom. No cameramans, no sound man. Toilet running. Ain't got nobody go in there and shake it. If I move, the computer may disconnect because I let it get out of battery. But let's talk about it. Is it because Obama is up there? Is it because Obama is fighting? Is it because blacks are fighting? Is it because, to the knowledge of all, blacks were trying to take over America? Whoo, the white man said, baby, I know he ain't trying to do that. And believe it or not, there are some blacks that are still creeping past the white man saying, they gonna see us. While others are saying, I've been up in this position longer than he has. I know he ain't trying to say whites are still bigger than us. You know, you got the Sheilas out there. He know better because I done conquered him many a time before, and I know he'll give in because he gave in before. I ain't scared of him, and look at this other black just a creeping. Yeah, they know what they were doing. They were trying to take over America. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Then the white man got up and said, okay, I know what we're going to do because them niggas know better. And so they sent the KKK. And KKK had a flashback, because history put in their head that, look, black man has always been in subjection to us. Put on the white mask? No, they came in regular uniforms, baby. They went to the same supermarket you went to get your pants and shirt. Yes, they did. They shopping with blacks nowadays, too. They're not wearing the white hood. It's just out of class. It's not classy to cover your face after you do a crime. It's a sign. That's a bad sign. That's a bad room out there. Yeah. So anyway, nevertheless, my mind jumped. I started thinking about something else. But yes, the KKK went and they did what they did to the blacks. And the sin of it all was, it wasn't about what was right. It was wrong and wrong, although it looked right. And I know there may have been some good Caucasian, and we all attested to what racism really is. Because when the fight really get into the fight, those who were right somehow turned wrong. Why? They had a right heart. They looked at their fellow brothers and said, y'all racist. Yeah. And then the fight got so deep, I might as well join in, I might as well get on my people's side for whatever reason, Not that they were afraid of their people. The fact that the fight was whites and blacks. Now what happened to Mexico? Now somebody said whites were fighting both ways, but I kind of feel like Mexico was just there to say, what do we do next, Mr. White Man? What do we do next? We know y'all been running us for years so we can get our green cards. No, seriously. I don't want to sound like a big old racist myself because that's not what I'm here for. I'm not trying to be funny either. This is serious. But we do know that for years, Mexico has been catering. We do know there are slaves out there too, so we don't know it all. We don't know what's going on in Mexico. We don't know if those that are fighting were slaves. We don't know. Yeah, and that was the question here. We don't know. We don't totally know, but we do know that we are in war. We haven't heard the grenades and we hadn't heard the bombs for whatever reason because this was a sneaky attack. Everything that happened was sneaky. People were going into position, sneaking into position. So whenever you're sneaking, it's quiet. And so, they don't want anybody to know that there was a war. There was a foot soldiers and they're fighting. And the news is not telling it, and no one else is telling it because, the government is involved. Well, why are we whispering? The government has something to claim. Yeah, they know better. They still had slaves. Oh, they had money hidden in their pockets. Yeah, they had children that they took out of the country. Yeah, they were damaging families. The government. So to send a war, somebody would ask, what started this war? Who? Government? Oh, that's a lawsuit. Let's try to handle this without everybody knowing it. Right? And so what happened, it got out of hand. And now innocent folks are being hit because the government couldn't cover it up. They couldn't cover up what they had done. And so now, as they say, we're living in these last days, and the Lord is showing us all that was out there all the time. But we didn't know. Sometimes we walk right past it, and we did not know it was there. It crept in. And sometimes, y'all, it was never dissolved. We talk about slavery. Come on. Y'all know better. Y'all know they were too smart to get rid of them all. Oh, come on. It takes some time to do stuff like that. But we didn't know. We were sitting right next to Johnny and May, and she had on her apron getting ready to go to the white man's house. And then Mexico come up here saying they had slave too. So what happened? Here come the black man. I want some slave. If you hate it, you hate it. Why would you put people in bondage? We're supposed to be the free people, but we trying to put folks in bondage, make them work for us, give us glory and honor, so we can feel like we're somebody. But it didn't work because the Lord said you cannot put my people. See, y'all done touched the wrong person. Y'all, Y'all done touched the wrong people. That's what happened.